I want to talk to you today about one of the fundamental methods of drawing with watercolor pencils. Let's talk about layering. This is something that I use in every single watercolor pencil drawing I do, and it's really the key to creating the realistic depth that you see in my drawings. So let's talk about what layering is and my main methods that I use. Now, with watercolor pencils, the most common way to use them is to build up some of the pencil on the paper and then activate it with the water, and that's what turns it into watercolor. If you were to draw out your full picture with watercolor pencils and then activate it all of the light colors, dark colors, and midtones, it would probably look okay, but it wouldn't be very rich. So instead of doing this, what you want to do is build up the pencil in a series of layers. So building up some of the color and then activating it, waiting for it to dry, then building up some more colors, activating them, waiting for them to dry, and so on until you have a much richer base color that you can then add all of the details onto. So let me show you how this works in practice, and I can show you by drawing this violin. This is such a fun drawing that I enjoyed making so much. Now, before I get started showing you the process here, if you would like to draw this with me in a lot more detail, it is available on my Patreon. I have a huge variety of tutorials in a number of different subject matters, and I have not only watercolor pencils but also colored pencils and graphite pencils. For every tutorial I include really in-depth instructions, all of the real-time footage, details of all of the colors that I'm using, the sketch outlines and the reference photo. And I have a mixture of quite fast drawings and some much longer and more detailed drawings like this violin. Check out the link in the description. Now, what I like to do is organize my layers into light, medium and dark. I find this to be the easiest way to do it. So let's start here with the lightest colors. I'm only looking for the absolute lightest color in each section. And this is a really good opportunity for me to start to get my bearings. So I'm starting off with a really nice and light gray, and I'm filling this in on an area that will be pretty much black. But because it's got some very light highlights on it, which are more of a gray, I can block in the whole area with this gray. Now, there's a few things that I'm doing here that is worth bearing in mind. First up, I want to build a reasonable amount of the pencil, but I don't want to press hard. If I press hard, I could well end up damaging the paper or just putting too much pigment down. So I'm working nice and lightly and going over the area a number of times to gradually build up this pigment. Now notice that I'm holding the pencil maybe further back than you would expect. I'm not holding it really close to the tip. And what this does is it stops me from being able to press too hard. You'll also notice that rather than just scribbling back and forth with the pencil, I am working in a series of kind of oval motions to try and get the pencil down in as smooth a way as possible. It's just going to make it much nicer when I activate it with the water. So on all of the very dark black areas, I've now put down this light grey. Let's use a slightly darker grey to block in the areas with a darker, lightest colour. So remember, just because we're filling in the lightest colours doesn't mean we have to only use extremely light colours. I want to look for the lightest colour in each area, which in some areas is actually a pretty dark colour. This is a pretty dark, or maybe like a medium grey. And I'm also going to build up some of this grey on the right hand side of this area up here, because again, that is the darkest colour that's in this section of the violin. So now let's move on to a light brown, and I want to be blocking in this light brown over the whole of the body of the violin. Now once again, you'll see that I'm holding the pencil pretty far back to not allow me to press too hard, but you can see I am still building up a reasonable amount of the pencil. It's certainly not so light that you can't see it. Again, I want to make sure that I have something that I can activate with the water. So I can go over this whole body of the violin, giving myself some sort of lightest value to activate. And I'm also going to slightly adjust that color just to make it a little bit more of a yellowy brown. I don't have exactly the right color for the lightest color here, but I can mix these two colors together, build them up so that I have a color that will be a lot closer. It is worth bearing in mind that when adding the water into here, it will change the color quite a bit though. So once I'm happy with those lightest colors, I want to activate this with the water. So let's just work one section at a time, generally working from the lighter colors towards the darker colors. So I'm filling in the lighter areas on the body of the violin, and I'm going over all of the gray areas first. And then the main color of the violin, I I want to go over this all in one go, I like to activate all of the similar color at once. Notice again, I'm activating this with circular motions to try and do this as smoothly as possible, although in reality it's not going to be perfectly smooth, and that's okay. So this is our first layer that we're building up. What I want to do once I've activated all of this with the pencil is leave it at least half an hour so that it is completely dry before going on to the next layer. So after the first layer, it does kind of look like a violin, but it's not exactly looking realistic. But this is roughly what we should expect it to look like. Now that this is completely dry, I want to focus on building up the midtones. So this is our next layer. So I'm using a kind of reddish brown to start filling in where some of the darker shadows will go. So I can put the midtones anywhere that is going to be mid-tone or very dark. I don't want to go over any areas that I want to stay very light. And although I don't want to focus at this point in adding a lot of details, because generally speaking those details do get lost when activating with the water, I am going to take the time to fill in the light line around the edge because I think that it will still show when it's activated. So let's work over the whole of the body of the violin. Once again, pressing nice and lightly. You can see I'm still holding the pencil quite far back. As I start to need to be more accurate, I will need to hold the pencil closer to the tip, but I just really want to focus on pressing nice and lightly. And you can see that it is starting to have a bit more depth. It's making the whole violin look a little bit richer. So I'm just building up the pencil bit by bit, going over it still with circular motions. I do want this to be as smooth as possible. Obviously a violin does need to be nice and smooth. And most of the midtones I would say is a mixture of these browns, some of the reddish brown and some of this slightly darker brown. And then I can add in more of a orangey brown to maybe adjust some of these darker areas of the wood. This is all part of making it look a little bit richer, adding a number of colors on top of each other before we activate. So now let's also use the same grade that we used for the lightest pencil, but we're building up a little bit more of it so that it will look a bit richer when activated, but also because we're putting gray on top of gray, it's building it up, and that will also make it look richer. So not only putting down a little bit more of the color, but having the second layer on top of the first is going to make a deeper color. And you can see as we're adding in all of these mid-tone colors that it is starting to look more like a realistic violin, but we have absolutely nothing that's particularly dark. We don't want to be adding in any of the dark colors at this point. So let's once again activate this with the water. Once again, working one section at a time. So I can start off by working on the gray section, and then I can start working my way around the wood. Look at how much darker this goes when it's activated with the water. This is one of the many reasons why it's good to build up in layers. It's a bit easier to see where you're at and get that color looking a little bit more accurate. And it is just looking much richer than it would if we just did one layer. So once I've activated all of these mid-tone colors, I once again want to wait for this to completely dry before I can think of moving on to the darkest colors. So let's move on to those darkest colors now. And I'm particularly thinking about the black pencil. Obviously that is the darkest color that we can use in this drawing. And I would say that there is quite a lot of black within the reference photo. So you see I'm really taking my time mapping out, I don't know what these are called on a violin, the swirls. So let's map these out, really being as accurate as I can about where these shapes are going to be. Usually I wouldn't fill in an area that is as detailed with this that I'm going to activate with the water, but I want them to be a really good jet black. So I do want to activate these with the water, and I'm just going to have to be really careful, and I want to be really accurate now about where I'm marking this in. And then I can also fill in any other area that I think should be made darker. So let's go over some of these parts here. Obviously the lightest and mid-tone colors are more of a gray, but the darkest areas here on this, I think it's black plastic, does need to be a really rich deep black. And I once again can just work my way around building up the black on any areas that needs to be really dark. And then I'm also going to go back to the brown that I used a second ago in the mid-tone colors and put it over, particularly on the body of the violin. Putting this over the top of the black is going to make more like a very dark brown rather than a black, and it's going to look a little bit less harsh. Once I'm happy with this, I want to so carefully activate these black areas. So you can see I'm so cautiously going over this to build it up. And then I can start going over all of the other dark areas, like here, for example. And you can really see how we've gradually built up from the lighter colors towards the midtones and then the darker colors. And before we even get to the point of adding in all of the final details, we've already got such a lovely, rich base that it's not going to be too tricky to add in all of those final details. It's more of a case of adding in details rather than trying to make a rich color. So for the final layer is how I think of it. I'm not going to be activating this. I want to be building up the dry pencil, adding in those final areas of kind of richness, and also using this as a way to smooth everything out. So for example, on this area here, although I'm happy that I've got a really good and rich color, it does look a little bit patchy. And I can also really start going in with more of the pencil around the edges. Here, for example, is a very deep shadow. And because I'm not going to be activating it with the water at this point, I can build up a lot more of the pencil without being concerned that it's going to drastically change color. What I put here is what it's going to be. It's really just a case of tweaking everything that we've already built up. So I can add in a kind of orangey brown to just slightly adjust the color, and that's already looking much better. It just looks like such a good rich color. So let's do the same for the top section of the violin, making sure that everything is nice and smoothed out up here, and that is really looking like a good level of color. Now my final step whenever I'm working with watercolor pencils is to add in the absolute final details, and for this drawing that would be using a jelly roll pen to add in the details of the strings here. So the strings are a really bright white, and I do want them to be showing over the top of all of that pencil. And then once the jelly roll pen has dried, I can then smooth it out with this gray. So that is essentially the steps that I always use when building with watercolor pencils. I want to build up the pencils in a series of layers, starting with the lightest colors and then activating it, then the midtones and activating it, and then the darkest and activating it one final time, before then adding in all of the final details with just the pencil on its own, building it up to complete the vibrancy of the color, and then adding in any absolute final details, maybe with a jelly roll pen. So don't forget, if you do want to draw this with me in a lot more detail, it is available on my Patreon. And if you do want to take drawing with watercolor pencils right back to the basics, I do have a full beginner's guide that you can check out here. Happy drawing, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.